Candace, the queen of the Ethiopians in biblical context. In the biblical narrative, Candace is mentioned in the book of Acts, specifically in Acts chapter 8 verse 27. The passage introduces us to an Ethiopian eunuch, a man of great authority under Candace, the queen of the Ethiopians. According to Jehovah's Witnesses and information provided on jw.org, this account holds significant importance in understanding the early spread of Christianity and the fulfillment of Jesus' commission to preach to the most distant part of the earth. Acts chapter 1 verse 8. Please like and subscribe. The Ethiopian eunuch and his journey. The Ethiopian eunuch was a high-ranking official in charge of the treasury of Candace. His journey to Jerusalem suggests that he was a proselyte or a devout man who worshipped the God of Israel. After worshipping in Jerusalem, he was returning home and was found reading the scroll of the prophet Isaiah in his chariot. This indicates his deep interest in the Hebrew scriptures and his desire to understand them more fully. Philip's divine appointment. Jehovah's angel directed Philip, one of the early Christian evangelizers, to approach the chariot of the Ethiopian eunuch. Philip asked him, "Do you actually know what you are reading?" The eunuch replied, "How could I ever do so unless someone guided me?" Acts chapter 8 verses 30 to 31. Philip then used this opportunity to explain the scriptures, starting with Isaiah's prophecy about the suffering servant, and he introduced the eunuch to the good news about Jesus Christ. The significance of baptism. As they continued along the road, they came upon a body of water. The eunuch said, "Look, water. What prevents me from getting baptized?" Acts chapter 8 verse 36. After confirming his belief in Jesus Christ, Philip baptized him. This event is significant as it demonstrates the openness of Christianity to people of all nations and backgrounds. The eunuch's baptism symbolizes the spreading of the Christian faith beyond the Jewish community and into Africa. Understanding Candace's role. The term, Candace, is understood to be a title rather than a personal name, similar to Pharaoh or Caesar. It was used for the queen mothers who ruled in the ancient African kingdom of Ethiopia, known historically as Nubia or the kingdom of Meroe. These queen mothers held significant power, often overseeing the administration of the kingdom while their sons were considered too sacred for the day-to-day governance. Historical and cultural context. Jehovah's Witnesses appreciate the historical context of this account, recognizing the reach of God's message. The inclusion of the Ethiopian eunuch highlights the fulfillment of prophetic scriptures that the good news would extend to all nations. It also showcases the impartiality of Jehovah, who is not partial, but in every nation the man who fears him and does what is right is acceptable to him. Acts chapter 10 verses 34 to 35. Candace's Ethiopia in biblical times. The Ethiopia mentioned in the Bible corresponds to the region south of Egypt, not the modern-day nation exactly as we know it today. It was a land known for its wealth and was considered remote by the people of the Mediterranean world. The mention of Candace's official illustrates the geographical spread of Judaism and later Christianity, reaching into Africa at an early stage. The impact on early Christianity. This event with the Ethiopian eunuch is pivotal. It demonstrates the active role of God's Spirit in directing the preaching work. Philip's obedience to the angel's direction resulted in the expansion of Christian teachings into new territories. According to Jehovah's Witnesses, this account encourages believers today to be attentive to divine guidance and to be willing to share their faith with all, regardless of their background or status. Lessons drawn from the account. Divine guidance. Just as Philip was guided to the eunuch, Jehovah's Witnesses believe that God's Spirit directs sincere individuals towards truth. Zeal for knowledge. The eunuch's eagerness to understand the scriptures exemplifies the attitude that believers should have towards learning about God. Impartiality. The account reinforces the belief that God shows no favoritism, and the message of the Bible is universal. Conclusion. Candace's mention in the Bible, though brief, is connected to a profound narrative about faith, evangelism, and the inclusivity of the Christian message. Jehovah's Witnesses view this account as an inspiring example of how God's purpose advances through willing participants like Philip and receptive hearts like that of the Ethiopian eunuch. It underscores the importance of being prepared to teach and the joy that comes from sharing the good news with people from all walks of life.